Hey, how's it going, nerds, and welcome back to...
This is some unsubtle nerdism.
I'm Renzo. I burnt my top lip on some really good soup, and I have way too many kits for a person who's only been into Gundam for less than the length of the 1-year war. So I started Gundam by watching HGUC, which was around April last year, I believe, so it really hasn't been that long of a time. And I have seen a bunch of the UC. I mean, I've watched the original 0079 Mobile Suit Gundam twice, and Requiem for Vengeance. Zeta? I've seen Zeta, I've seen Thunderbolt, and I've watched HGUC twice. There's something so inherently interesting about the OVA-ONA space for Gundam.
ガンダムの OVA 見てないんですか？名作ですよ、あれは。
Although I do love like how wonky 0079 is, I just love it so much. There's just something about the older pre-2000s OVAs of the time. I mean, can you still even have OVAs now? I mean, aren't they original video animes? Yeah, so they're original video animations, which came out on DVD or something, right? Or just basically home video. And now that we have streaming, everything's in ONA now, which kind of means that... Does that mean that all animes now are ONAs? Like original net animations? I don't know. It's the OVA era of Gundam. You know, things like Igloo. I actually meant to say 8th MS Team. Though I haven't seen 8th MS Team, I do recognize how high the quality of animation is. And something can be said, I can say the same thing about 0083 Stardust Memory. But if we are going to talk about Stardust Memory, we are going to need to get in the mood for it. Which kind of leads us to the first point of the video, which is about I Made This Apparel. So now let's unbox. Guys, I'm not lying when I say this is the peak of Gundam clothing. You don't even have to be a Stardust Memory fan. It just looks so dope. I mean, you should watch Stardust Memory. But even if you're not a fan, you can't deny how cool these clothes look. I've worn them twice already in the past month. And the quality is just so great. They're so comfy. And if you want to get them, check out Drop 001 from I Made This Apparel, link in the description. Thank you so much to I Made This Apparel for just making this fantastic first drop. Look at that, dude, it's like the GP01. It's so cool. And it's got this like 90s VHS style to it. It's just great. I also have to thank Ike from I Made This Apparel for setting me on this path to go watch Stardust Memory. I've been trying to get into the OVA series of Gundam, like the OVA era, but truth be told, 0083 Stardust Memory was never actually on my radar. I mean, none of my friends had watched it. We're still all talking about Zeta, or Double Zeta. I mean, Darlu is. But the Gabs Lighter just keeps talking about MS Igloo. He just loves it. So when I Made This Apparel reached out, Ike told me that it's one of his favorite shows. I thought, what the heck, why don't I just, like, try this out, give it a shot? I mean, I'd never seen any other OVA series of Gundam before. Requiem of Vengeance doesn't really count. You probably already know this, but I can't resist the show if it has an RX-78. Yep, it's a building Gunpla Grandpa video because you've already seen it. We're building this baby. The RX-78GP01Fb That's a lot of letters. I was able to score this in Hong Kong at Sino Center. Vlog here, or is the card over here? Though I don't think it's posted yet as of now. It'll be coming out soon, so I'll just put the card up there or there when it's available. I actually stuffed this into my suitcase. That entire suitcase from earlier, that was all Gundam. Those were all kits, not Gundam. Those were all mobile suits. No, they weren't all mobile suits. I have an Evangelion Unit 2 in there. It was all kits, okay? And this one didn't fit anymore because I bought it last minute. Like, this was in the last store that I looked at before the place closed. And I found it. I kind of banged up the box. I don't know if you can see it. I mean, you could probably see it from this side. This is all banged up. Kind of a shame, because I'm a bit of a box collector, but we may be changing that soon. But yeah, let's build the kit and talk about Stardust Memory, shall we?
How's it going, nerds? It's VO Renzo here from the future of the shoot and the distant past of the upload. Here to talk to you about Mobile Suit Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory. Without spoiling anything, of course, we'll be doing this review the same way we did with Goodnight Punpun. So we're talking about how it feels, instead of just telling you the story. I feel like that would provide you with better reasons to watch. Stardust Memory is a 1991 OVA that follows Federation test pilot Ensign Ko Uraki. The show gives us a glimpse at the state of the galaxy after the Earth Federation's victory in the One-Year War, right up to a little before the beginning of Zeta Gundam. I mean, you could technically say this is After War, but we all know After War isn't UC. I think. I haven't seen it yet. Well, anyway, one of the first things you'll notice about Stardust Memory is that military life in the Federation has gotten a little bit lax since the fall of Zeon. The next thing that'll hit you about this OVA is how stunning it looks. The level of detail in the mobile suits and how they move is masterful. Since there's less of a focus on new types here, you can really feel the physicality of piloting. It's not like operating an exosuit, it's like driving a tank in space, which is how I think mobile suits should feel. It's gritty, it's heavy, it's realistic. That realism is refreshing. Especially if you've been used to the new type psychic duels and ultra hyper reflex combat from other Gundam shows, which I personally love, don't get me wrong, but Stardust Memory grounds everything in raw piloting skill. It's a contest of soldiers and machines, not anything cosmic or magical. The mecha on mecha action is so good that you could watch the whole thing just for the battles and still walk away impressed. Because it's set outside of a full-scale war, Stardust Memory gets to show a side of the Federation we don't usually see. It's what happens after victory. You see how soldiers deal with peace, how the bureaucracy runs, and how weapons development continues even when the threat feels distant. There's this underlying tension that peace might just be the calm before another storm. It injects a lot of personality into the downtime scenes, you know, there's training sessions, banter, repair sequences, and that makes it feel alive. And when the threat of another major conflict reappears, that calm shatters so beautifully. Another thing I really appreciate about Stardust Memory is that it abandons the Monster of the Week format. Don't get me wrong, I love Mobile Suit Gundam, the original 0079, G-Quux, and The Witch from Mercury, which all play around with that style. But Stardust Memory has this tight, overarching story. It's not about a new mobile suit every week, it's about an escalating conflict between two pilots. You know, there's a war-hardened veteran. Veteran, not veterinarian. I can't even get this right.
And, okay, so it's one war-hardened veteran and the other guy just trying to find his place in a post-war setting, even if he's in the military. You know, that central rivalry gives the series real focus and gravity, despite being in space. It's less about external threats and more about ideology. You know, pride, legacy. It makes the battles feel personal. The show can be a slow burn at times. You'll see a lot of logistics, training, and the inner workings of military operations, which I did say was a positive, which it is. It's great to see the behind the scenes, to see how everything's working. But when it ramps up, it really ramps up. Full-on mobile suit combat, power struggles, and lots of military drama. It captures how a single rogue faction can throw an entire system off balance, and how quickly order turns into chaos when power and pride collapse on itself. It also brings up an idea that's really just classic Gundam, or, you know, classic history where the victors write the rules. You know, history is dictated by the winners. Without spoiling anything, the central conflict involves a Gundam capable of carrying a nuclear payload, which directly violates the Antarctic Treaty. You know, the treaty where you can't use weapons of mass destruction. It's one of those moments where the Federation's hypocrisy is on full display. It isn't a perfect show. Sometimes the pacing swings too hard in either direction. Slow moments happen, fast moments speed through the episode. There are character relationships that feel really undercooked, and some exposition dumps that violate show don't tell. You know, it would have been great to see these friendships forming, but with a 12 episode, 13 episode run, it's really difficult to get all the plot points you want to fit in there. You get a sense of who these people are professionally, but not always personally. It doesn't ruin the show, but it leaves you wanting a lot more with regards to characters. Except for Nina Purpleton. Absolute worst character in all of Gundam. Dog water tier writing. I wouldn't save her from a freaking colony drop if I were piloting a suit that could move 30 times faster than Char's suit. You'll just have to watch it to understand. At the end of the day, Mobile Suit Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory absolutely deserves a spot on your watch list if you care about the UC, the Universal Century Timeline. Watch it right after Mobile Suit Gundam and before Zeta Gundam for the full UC experience. But you also have to note that 0083 was made way after Zeta, and the animation quality is higher, so don't be surprised when you see that jump. It's a series about personal ambition, legacy, and the lingering scent of the rot of war, all wrapped into some of the best hand-drawn mecha animation that the franchise has ever seen. If you want a series with some really good political tension, gorgeous visuals, and a reminder that peace in Gundam is always temporary, this show is perfect for you. This just so happens to be the weirdest nugget time. Not because the kit's big or anything, but because we have already created, or built, rather, all the limbs of this mobile suit. Alright, now all that's left are the weapons. You know, I think this is one of the only... Yeah, this is the only HG I have that comes with a separate core fighter. I mean, the G-Quux had one, but you had to pull off the thrusters on the back of the G-Quux so you could build the core fighter, which I didn't know was a core fighter yet when it came out because that episode with the core fighter and G-Quox hadn't even appeared yet. So yeah, now I'm building a core fighter. And it's such a nice addition to have a core fighter and a Gundam, so you don't have to like pull it apart or anything like that. But yeah, but the thing about this is that there's a glaring problem with the core fighter of this kit. I mean, it looks great, but you'll get it when we get to the review. And right now we're here at the review. Hey, isn't that convenient? So this, out of the box, it could use a little more coloring, but the details are pretty great. I'll give it that. I mean, all the thrusters and pipes and everything, they're there. One of my gripes about this kit is that the blue on the shield is actually a sticker. A sticker on a curved surface. Crazy, right? They've been doing that for years and I didn't even know. But yeah, here's the back. Once again, it's not like color separated. And the shield goes on the hand really weird. And then there's the core fighter, which is a separate thing, and it comes with a hand. And it comes with this giant thing of a beam saber. Okay, so now welcome to the last shooting test where we can test if this RX-78 can actually do the last shooting pose. So, alright, now I'm making him look up. Yeah, no, that's as far as it goes. So yeah, there he is, doing the last shooting pose, even though, like, no spoilers, but the RX-78GP01 doesn't do the last shooting pose. Another thing that I'd actually like to point out is that this guy doesn't have like a hole for the action base. So given that he's like a space unit, I mean he's a hybrid, he could be a ground unit and he could also be like a space fighting unit. I can't pose him flying because he can't. Like, the core fighter doesn't even have like a hole for for an action base either. Haha, welcome to couch time. Yes, I have rearranged my Gundam shelf. And yes, it looks way better. And I did complete the Gachapon set for the Gachapon machines. Short, and there's a card there somewhere for the short. But yeah, look, okay, RX-78s together at last. You know, for what it's worth, I think it's a good kit.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, if you're gonna be a nerd about it, let's be unsubtle.